do remember I was trying to do something at Mudhenge. Because I have no clue what this is doing. There has to be a logical way to solve this. What the hell? Oh, we met before, haven't we? When we meet, it is not me. And a boxcar, you remember? Slime green? There is not much time. This to help. This to help you go where you are going. Is that for the bus? I don't need that anymore. I got enough for the bus. More than enough, actually. Sorry. I come to give help. I come from far away. I come at great personal cost. Have I got anything else I could use? Sorry. Oh. It worked. I turn the volume back down. In the heart of the henge, 4 nude druids flock around the altar in an unchoreographed ritual. One look at you and they just absolutely lose it. Gnashing and wailing, it's clear your presence here constitutes some kind of affront. You are not welcome here. Where you are welcome, and where they'll put you is 6 feet under. Leave them be. What if I go nude? Oh, I just joined them. Okay. Well, as they say, when in nude Rome, do as the nude Romans do. Who said that again? Might have been Caesar in his dying moments. To nude Brutus. You wake alone in a narcotic fog with vestigial sense of memory having stabbed and eaten mud. I saw a lot of people about this. I ate mud naked. At last, the non-literal beating heart of the Mudhenge. As you draw near, the needle on your compass spins wildly. Of course, it's as a guide outside told you. A compass, placed upon this altar, will point towards secret west, where lies that thing your heart most desires. Which makes this place far, far superior to Stonehenge. Where the most that'll happen to you is your compass that a badger might eat it. Put the compass on the altar. There's a question, of course, of what exactly your heart does desire the most. What are you hoping to find here in the endless gloom of this mudden henge? I don't want meat. Or mud, so I guess meat, and lots of it. The needle spins smoothly clockwise until it doesn't. Seized by a queer magnetic force, the tremulous needle twitches violently between the cardinal and non-ecclesiastical directions. It's a horrible, upsetting sight, and feels like a mercy killing when, with a gasp of inexplicable breath, the needle falls still, its head pointing towards the west-north arch. And that's where we're going. Well, this is quite another henge altogether. The mists of Mudhenge have parted, and now you stand before the great husk of an antebellum riverboat, grounded upon the swampy shore. Location unlocked, the wreck of the Longfellow. The needle of your compass bends its neck to point, urgently, towards the boat's top deck. You don't know how a compass needle can contort itself like that, but it's very unpleasant to watch. Mudhenge must have brought you here for a purpose. There's meat here, and you're gonna find it. Forge ahead with great purpose. Well, that was an interesting solving of a puzzle. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. The wheel on his boat has run aground. The boat is named after the younger brother of poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Under this thing that was possibly once a bookcase, you notice a crawdad has set up camp and gathered a hoard of shiny pebbles and is guarding vigorously. A regular shellfish. Try saying that 7 times fast. The once proud riverboat has come to the immutable twins of entropy, time, and mud. Perhaps the debris fell from the wreck of the boat. Perhaps not. Search it. You got crusty roll. One man trash is another crusty roll, to quote Shakespeare, if you believe he even wrote those plays. Speaking of which, I should probably I should probably, redress myself. Yeah, that seems about right. What glittering prize has lured these rubbernecking stink bugs and bees to this gloomy ruin? Holler at them. Beat it, bugs! All peaceful efforts have failed. Battle stations! What if I keep thinking? No. Oh wow, that's a lot of damage. I may have underestimated these guys. Well, I'm dead. Ow. Once a while, lays the eggs in your beloved grandfather's breakfast Danish. Today it has confirmed that disrespect from Bug remains the great burden of your line. Losing that fact made you really mad. Okay, let's not fight that. Or at least come back for it later. Fine for nature to reclaim the shipwreck, but this planet doesn't have to look so happy about it. Fight for your right to make metal stuff. Now see, this is a fight that I can get behind. Now there'll be no more than nature's gloating over the death of a boat. And rightly so. The rungs of a ladder are carved directly into the hull. Counting the rungs is an accurate means to determine the age of a boat. I don't think that is. Refreshments cart have been scavenged of all nourishment, save a paper menu, which you should not eat. A fine luncheon aboard a riverboat longer fellow. Saffron crab on a cracker. Crab on a cracker. Seasoned crab egg, that's a lot of crabs. Crab under a napkin. Chicken a la crab. Leaf dressed crab salad. Crab cream. Crab cream. Eat the menu. Not even the distressed passengers of doomed longer fellow resort to that. Eat it though. The wrecking of ship exerts a dreadful psychological toil on all those poor souls trapped aboard, and none can understand their especial torment, except by experiencing it. But you come pretty close, you think, by wandering on board well after the fact and munching on a menu. The speaker, faulty, still broadcasts, but the transmission is unintelligible. Make it work. It's not that easy. The fuse inside the speaker's casing has succumbed to swap necrosis. That's a real issue for these wooden riverboats, especially when they crash into swamps. Make it work. You discard the necrotic fuse and swap in a new one. With the replacement fuse snug in its new bed, the transmission of which you had caught only garbled fragments now makes itself clear. And be that it? Have you finally fixed that infernal machine? Will you nod once if you can hear me? Nod twice. You nod 2 times. Damn blastin' bloody hell! Wait, but you're jesting with me, ain't you? All hands on deck, we got a jester aboard! No hands respond. That's a good one, landlubber. You mind if we called you landlubber? Yes. Yes, you'd be fine with me calling you that? No. The novice seaman it must be then, till we can make the proper introductions. Speaking of which, this is Captain Dan of the riverboat Longfellow, and it gives me no pleasure to report that my vessel has run aground here with its fiendish and soggy friend that I call Davy Swamp's Locker. We few for survivors be trapped up in the wheelhouse. How do you know I'm here? You glance around the boat for any sign of this captain. If ye be wondering how I know you're aboard, novice seaman, then I have me bendy telescope to thank. Not for much for us to do trapped up in a wheelhouse, but to hold the bendy telescope and look through the bendy telescope. The wheelhouse? You make the shape of the wheel and a house with your hands and then shrug. Know ye the parts of a boat, novice seaman? 2 levels above ye be the main deck, and there you find the captain and his wheel. Not on a boat may be higher than the captain. What happened here? You shrug in a very general way. Wondering about all this, are ye? Where the longer fellow is a pleasure paddler. We paddle the east coast and show the passengers the time of their lives. Last sail, a sparkling black cloud, other word that it was. Hurled us off course into this violent bog. Pleasure paddle fast turned to pain paddle as our vessel was overrun by creatures and nasties. Only 5 souls in mine remained of the voyage. Trapped up here in the wheelhouse for, well, for how long only the boat gods know. Are you a ghost? Are you a ghost? Through mine, you indicate your expectation of finding a fat stack of meat somewhere on this riverboat. Never was one for charades, novice seaman. But if I'm understanding you correctly, the answer is no. A jellyfish will not have 64 marriage. Nothing for it. You'll have to press on. Or not. You know. You could stop this all right now and go do something else. Grad school. And that's an idea. No, we were already just at a university. Can you help? You mind handing out the mail and packages. That's what you do. You're a helpful person. You didn't ask for this, I know. And you must feel like the unluckiest novice seaman in the world. But there be 5 innocent bolts in the wheelhouse with me, blocked by broken pipes spewing a scalding hot steam. Will you help us? Sure. You solemnly commit yourself to the task. I ask that ye enter with the most private of boat parts, the hull, where the wildlife has done defilement most foul to our steam pipes. Funny be it not, that the same steam that gave this life to this boat also took it from most of the passengers. I think we are only beginning to understand the nature and whims of steam. That'd be a mystery for another day. The goal to the hull door will be the birthday of the longer fellow, January 4th, 1845. But there be a catch, and I ain't talking about what we use to hull up a Friday lunch, crabs and such. We don't use standard or international date wombats on our locks. Wouldn't be caught dead doing that. No, we use a maritime basic. Year, month, day. So 45, 1414. Okay. Got it. Didn't figure out novice seaman. I'd be sure. Sailor can dream of no greater horror than a smushed pillow. Whoa there, that's how not to seam a car. You wouldn't seam a car, don't seam yourself. Do I have enough hot armor? Well, if I really wanted to, I could probably get enough hot armor. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could. Nah. Let's do this legit. A great wooden wheel is in the final stage of wheel death. Upon its spokes, you can make out a message scrawled in blood, or red mud. Read it. Dan! Dan! We're all broke upon thine wheel, SP. Doors marked by a combination lock and the desperate scratches of a beast unable to operate the combination lock. Try the combination lock. 6 spaces, which means only 6 possible combinations. That is not how that works. $451414. No, that's not it. What do you mean that's not it? Well, then that just confuses me. Why is there 2 zeros in the middle? Descend. A large crate labeled inflatable water slide. There's a handwritten message scratched into the wood. Don't tell the guests about the water slide. I don't care if they're expecting the time of their lives, 5 hours of pain and suffering to put it together, and they only use it once. Below that, another message. We're going to die on this boat. You can't inflate water. Well, you can freeze it. That makes it expand. So that's how you inflate it? A lone needle governs the gauge. Its machinations its own. Use a machine. The gauge has no controls and nothing that can be used. Just hit it! I don't think that's gonna work. Weird shadow pocket. Close it. They're mining their own bug's nest. That's a lot of bugs. Oh, that does help a lot. I should have been using that sooner. The bugs bug out of being alive. Laundry facilities, including this hand-operated washing machine, are kept well below deck. Guests don't want to see how the sausage is washed. Search it. A tiara. In a washing machine? Chaos truly did befall this voyage. This must have belonged to the ship's cabinet boy. Open it. A classic pair of deckhand's pants. You wonder if somewhere there's a deckhand running around without their pants, but given the state of this boat, it is far more likely that they are dead. A note is taped up inside the cabinet. You can't wear them because you have regular legs. Dang. Sailors Poseidons and Poseidon'ts. Poseido, remember your date formats. Standard. Month, day, year. Local, radio, international, maritime basic. Well, I tried that, but apparently it didn't work. Maritime plus, maritime minus, deckhand basic. There's a second page, maritime humor. Read it. What's the pirate's best part of the boat? The starboard. What's the sailor's favorite joke? Land. Go back to the Poseidons. Eating the note is a big Poseidon. Hit it again. Okay, now it's stopped. Oh, now the steam is somewhere else. The path up is steamless. Confession, friend. Rarely would I put me trust in a novice seaman, but to come in this far, you proved you had the true heart of a sailor. Nod. And I'm afraid I must tell you that we have a new problem. You may have dealt with the steam pipes, but now we've been locked in the wheelhouse. Expect you'll find the door key in the crow's nest. You know how crows be. Wait, what? Now, please, hurry. Some of the passengers in here be getting hungry. They don't mean it for a nibble in the bendy telescope. I still don't understand that code. Leaving unattended bags on deck. Now, is this that a Poseidon or Poseidon? Let me go back and check. Nope, it just says remember your date formats. Nothing about rummaging through whatever's on board. Indeed it is. We'll make a sailing out of you, novice seaman. Search the bag. You find a naval battery. This dirty bag dishonors the deck. Search it. Nothing of value. Only a scrap of handwritten letter, and the rest of the paper is succumbed to swamp atrophy. Read it. Having said that, Martha, the boat has taken a sharp and sickening turn into a black and shimmering tear in the sky itself. I fear we are headed for land with unsafe speed. Grateful if you would call your father and rescue me from this impending unpleasantness. I will get this letter away to you promptly. I'm sure that swamps have mailboxes. Why, it's an unopened bag. A blank canvas, a fresh sheet of snow, beautiful morning, endless possibility. Open it. Oh, just a couple meat. Probably in some alternate universe, the bag was filled with fabulous treasure. There's a handwritten sign on this barrel that reads, Bosun C.C. David. Look inside. A brackish soup burbles in the bottom of the barrel. Remains of David, grim and foul smelling. Where's my stench armor at? Take anything useful. It's a little solid left in liquidated bosun, but its crisp cap has kept its shape. Sailor's cap. It's a cap doffed by a sailor to all manner of mermaids and mermen. Tucked in its brim is a soggy telegram, which slips from the hap into the goop. Read it. Telegram reads, Mr. H. Longfellow, Longfellow Riverboat. Company, stop. Hope you well. Stop. Requesting permission to mutiny. Stop. Captain ordering ship into storm. Stop. Says passengers will love it. Stop. Crew plans to mutiny anyway, just so you not be mad with us. Stop. Three outhouses, all alike in dignity, i.e. below average. Note on the side of the structure says, the standard combination doesn't work. Did deckhand Pat lock these up again? You don't need to use an outhouse right now, which is fortunate, as two unlocked doors contain not toilets, but rat skeletons. The third door is locked. Open the lock. Like a two-legged spider, this lock has 6 spaces. What about the code from earlier? Lock shakes, it didn't like that. Fine, examine it. You run your hand slightly across the roof and make out a carpenter's mark. The initials VH. Either that stands for Valley Hardware or Versatile Hog. If you haven't met the Versatile Hog yet, you don't want any part of that. You don't want any part of that at all. A beastly crow eyes you with avian bloodlust. Say hello. Hello, sir. Oh, now I see why the month date was 00, because it's 01 and 04. Now I understand. We got Standard, Month Day, Maritime Basic, Maritime Plus. Deckhand Basic, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. So, day, year, month, day, year, month. So, 0 or 0 4 5 1. 04 04 51. Yeah, that should be it. Hey, there we go. The lock slipped from the door, shattering upon deck into 1,000 tiny pieces. Inside the stall is a ruined toilet, which, no surprise, on the back of the door is something quite unexpected. Step through the time portal. You step from the outhouse into a beautiful day. The sky is blue and bright, the glistening deck is freshly swabbed, and the passenger is hale, hearty, and freshly swabbed. You exits in a moment of joy, a frozen tear on a warm cheek. Cool beans. I never met Mr. Longfellow. Perhaps he's too long to meet. Pencil in hand, the passenger nurses over his missive. See what he's writing. It's a letter, in progress. Sneak a peek. Oh, Martha, I was never fit to be a husband so long as my mind was cursed to generate my great ideas. For example, if we twist the cow differently, we might produce not milk, but cheese. I must be free of our marriage if I am to pursue this notion. I trust this clears up why I dove out of the car so suddenly. Okay, so this is the letter guy. If I don't see a whale on this cruise, I will simply throw up. Fine day for a crab lunch, eh? Crowd is too excited about the stairs to let you through. Oh hey, there's the tiara person. That crown sparkles like the well-brushed tooth of an ice troll. Speak with owner. Fine cruise, traveler. Who are you? Whom I am multitudes traveler. To one I am one thing, to another another. To some I am a riverboat passenger, to others a countess of the city of clocks. Nice crown. Tiara. Where'd you get it? It was gifted to me by a scientist that sacrifices heart for a city that has stopped breathing. What city is that? It is dead and buried. Let it remain thus. You seem interesting. Indeed. I bear many curses. Can I have the tiara? I am sure you can possess it, but I do not believe it can ever be had by anyone. How much for the tiara? It has a price, yes. 100 meat. Show the ruined tiara you found in the hole. What do you make of this? She barely glances at a tarnished double of her glorious crown. I have looked upon my bones before, and I expect I shall again. Okay. Look, this boat is going to crash. Yes, I think you should not be here when it does. She has not looked at you once this whole time. A flying cruise to you. Goodbye. That can't stand where the crow was, or rather, will. Talk to him. Wait, there's no access to the promenade right now. The stewards are tastefully arranging lunch, and the slightest disturbance could throw off the tastefulness. You transform into a crow in the future? Hope not. Left my crow face behind in the 20s, like any lad. What do you make of Captain Dan? Captain's disciplined, alright, no mistake. I like to joke that Dan stands for discipline and no mistake. That's a joke you like to make. Correcto. I think this boat's going to crash. Sea travel is perfectly safe, I assure you. Statistically, it's more dangerous to ride a motorcycle into the ocean. Correct. You have to stop this boat. Stop the boat? The captain wouldn't hear of it. He took his charter to show all his guests a time of their lives, and that's just what he means to do. Well, goodbye. Good cruise to you. You don't hear the captain, only sea jazz. Okay, I'll buy the tiara. You got glorious tiara. Mysticality, Moxie, physical armor. This is the purchase, by you, of a city from its final countess. But it's actually just a crown, right? She turns in silence to face the waves. Glorious! Hello. Wow, that is a shiny crown. Or tiara. Dazzling tiara on your noggin reflects in the crow's dreadful eyes. With great agitation, he flaps his giant wings and leaps off the deck right at you. Like a king's sickly second cousin, he wants the crown, and he's gonna take his shot. What if I throw the tiara through the time door? With a supernatural whoosh, the tiara is sucked back into whence it came. Undeterred, the crow pursueth. He's gone, lost in time, and destined to become his own grandfather. Or yours. What now? Ah. Crow is bound and waits extradition to Sky Court. No need to panic, pal. Second I saw that crow lurch from the outhouse, I had him flat on the deck, its wings bound with secret sailor's knot. You were never in any real danger. Was that crow holding a tiara by chance? I'm afraid the crow swallowed in the scuffle, pal. Drat! I don't like that tiara. Well, back to the turban we go. Well, that's one way to defeat a tiara then. Or a crow. These stairs lead to the top deck, where normally only those passengers who have lived a virtuous life can ascend. You always hear about the crow's nest on a boat. That and the crow's hole. Reach inside the crow's hole. You got Longerfellow ring. A ring to promote in conjunction with regular exercise and balanced diet, the longening of a fellow makes you longer. Also, did a second crow just join in? Giant and ghoulish crow asserts unchallenged dominion over the boat's top deck, and he rules not through love, but fear. What is scarier than a crow? Skulk away to plot revolution in the shadows. Well, I do feel longer. Oh yeah, there's more crows that join every time I loot this. You got Crow Bullion. A bar of gold engraved with the head of a stately crow. Crows use this for money. Prideful King Crow rules over the deck. Scare him off! What's that? A human outscare a crow? If you figure a way to do that, then let the rest of us know, would you? For you'd be the first in the history of the world. Turn your eyes. Terrifying. The crow pales like a dauphin at the guillotine and scurries as fast as his giant wings can flap. Alone! Another crow has made its home on the deck, in response to your flagrant rummaging of its crow holes. Scare it. Okay, that's one crow scared off, but two? Not even an actual scarecrow can manage that. Tear an invisible encyclopedia in half! The crow's dark feathers run white, and with the last vestiges of its strength, he abandons the deck and communal nest. Hooray! Do I have enough moxie? I do. This one looks pretty clever, but the first crow was the deepest. Shatter his mind. Word of a tricksy crow frightener is spreading fast along the boat. Soon the myth itself will evolve its own life and thoughts. Celador is the most beautiful phrase in the world. Say it backwards. What? I don't get it. The crow staggers overboard, grasping at its last scraps of sandy like a sudden tear in a bathing suit. This power of yours, it's one to be used responsibly. No, it's not. What if I rummage through another crow hole? Reach inside the crow hole. You got a wheelhouse key. It's a key, and it looks long enough to unlock the doors of the Longerfellow. Not the shiniest key you've ever seen, but by a crow standards, it's alright. Strange marks mar the tiny table surface. Look closer. Faint impressions of words are left in the wood, as if someone wrote a letter at its table without first putting something beneath the paper, which is very rude to do if the table is not yours. And though the new and very serious captain has not even met us yet, he has already made a big stink about my having one beer while we are out on a charter. I have half a mind to jump ship and take this little table with me, because I own it, and so it is fine for me to write here without anything between the paper and the surface. Okay. The crow's in a 5-way tie for the biggest bird you've ever seen. Fright the bird! Whole swamp is now fertilized, and hatches with Taco the Traveler, who gobbles up the courage of crows like so much country stew. So mythic is its figure, nobody would believe that you, a mortal, are they, unless if you show them. Action, not words. Flex your tongue with malice. The first farmer to stick a scarecrow in his wheat fields was never really satisfied with the creation. Sure, it worked, but it didn't look like what he'd seen in his mind. The thing he saw, those thousands of years ago, was you. In this moment, you are the scarecrow. You've always been the scarecrow. Yes! I am the scarecrow now. This game is a little totally weird. Yeah, it's great. No marks on the table surface. If anyone used this to write, they put something underneath the paper, which is commendable etiquette, but not helpful to your reconstruction of the historical record. Amount for binoculars. Though with the binoculars missing, the opportunities for sightseeing are minimal. Also, you're in a swamp. Look through the mount anyway. A few feet out from the riverboat's carcass, a frog is fighting off a heron with a whip. Rarely are you afforded such a close-up view of nature. There's a skeleton hiding in the apple barrel, bobbing along with a few apple skeletons. That's the wheelhouse. The wheel door is around the corner. Still can't see, I'm afraid. It's a wheelhouse, not a window house. At last, the wheelhouse. Your compass is going wild. The money must be inside. Knock. Girl's got the key, novice seaman. Had a spare in here. We ate it one day to stave off cannibalism. Well, good thing I have the key. Click clack. The wheelhouse key has become wheel home. Huh. The creaks reach your ears before the creaker your eyes. Suspended from the ceiling, this boxy thing giving motion lurches left, right, and down, straining at the springs grafted to its back. There is no ship's captain, no passengers, no meat. This automaton, this creature, is the only living thing in the wheelhouse, if you can call that living. Captain Dan? Novice seaman in me wheelhouse. 'Tis a day most dreaded by every sailor. Worse fate even than us chomping by the chitinous beak of a frightful skilla. You can only guess that the boat's being on land has imbued you with extra powers allowing you to make it this far. Was I not supposed to rescue you from the wheelhouse? I'm afraid you being a passenger on me riverboat rules. What of me that needed saving from the steam, the crows and the bugs, but ye that needed killing. By them. What have you done, Dan? A machine I be, a novice seaman, made to follow instructions. Me instructions were to captain this riverboat and show all these aboard the time of their lives. The time of their lives, you see. Time meaning beginning, middle, and end. To fulfill me task to its letters, I had no choice but to ram the riverboat into a monstrous swamp and terminate every living soul aboard. Right, some questions. Water away. That's how we say fire away at sea. Ain't chance you got a huge amount of meat stashed up here. Meat? I've no use for it. Know why Mudhenge sent me here then. Mudhenge? You be thinking of Stonehenge, novice seaman? No. Why'd you have to try and kill me? I'm not a passenger. Aye, and ye be alright. For a novice seaman, haha. Only teasing. But me instructions require me to show all aboard the time of their life. So once you boarded the craft, you became me responsibility. I'd say your quibble is with the writers of the instructions and not with me. You'll just kill anyone who comes across this boat? Can't promise it, but yarder, I'll give it the old college try. Old water college as it is. I'm starting to doubt your command of nautical knowledge. Doubt me command, do ye? Mutinous talk! Shut your land lips! Your logic is, who made you this way? Master Longerfellow had a dream, novice seaman. And that was to make the most things in the world just a little bit longer. Thought he could give his customers a longer journey aboard a riverboat, you see, if a captain weren't human with all the attendant problems and flesh, or an automaton requiring neither breaks nor salary. Your logic is a little flawed? Strained. Your whispering land lies, lubber. What ye believe to be faulty reasoning is mere misfires in your rotting brain. To me, a perfectly correct creature of logic, and a moral sailor to boot. What I've done as a captain be not just logical, but very, very good, and smart. You know you misinterpret the time of your life. Misinterpret? The only miss I know, novice seaman, is that the powerful mistress we sailors call the ocean. I be a sailor, you know. If you were a sailor, you'd know your Poseidons and Poseidon'ts. And what of it? I'd hardly need a lecture on Poseidons from a land leech. Killing your passengers and crew is, to me, a big Poseidon. Captain Dan dangles uncomfortably from his rod graphs. Even I, a novice seaman, know that. Captain Dan's wooden noggin starts to spin like an owl on merry-go-round. Do you know less about the sea than a novice seaman? Captain Dan's limbs spin and spin, threatening to overheat, until instead, he whimpers into non-existence. He fears you most, Slime, and always did. For all his faults of logic, he fancies himself a sailor to his wooden bones. And it is a tenet of nautical prophecy that only thing that can kill a sailor is a warrior from the land. Search about. It wasn't all a lie, though. The Bendy telescope was real. Bendy telescope. Your enemies will never see it coming, getting knocked on a noggin with a Bendy telescope, not even if they had access to their own Bendy telescope. You lead Dan shattered into wormwood food, his anchor laying in automaton hell. No longer shall he menace land or sea, and the little patch of swamp land is safe once again. if not especially desirable, to visit or live. It's my riverboat now, buddy boy. The sea captain can only survive so long on land. The ship's radio still broadcasts only to an empty and derelict riverboat. Swear into the microphone! Despite the radio's limited broadcasting area, the filthy and unprintable words from your mouth blast a horrible smell across the country. At this exact moment, many miles away, a creature's eyes snap open for the first time. The Federal Radio Commission has been born! You're banned from using the radio. The wheel's made of plastic. The boat must have been controlled via Captain Dan's central wooden nervous system. Take the wheel! Yoink. I assume you mean take it with you, not take control of the ship. Traditional wooden ship's wheel in a non-traditional location. Your pocket. Your compass needle oscillates violently in the presence of this console. Turn off the console. Just like that, the needle reverts to its normal function, pointing west. So there never was any meat here? Just some electrical interference confusing your compass? This would never happen at Stonehenge. Oh look, it's the hunk of junk that spoiled your visit to the Mudhenge. See, I wasn't lying about one thing. You really can see a lot with the aid of a bendy telescope, including from this angle. What looks like a disturbed plank under one of the chairs on the main deck. Oh. Yeah, main deck. The plank beneath the chair looks fine up close, but much is revealed through the contours of a bendy telescope. Dislodge the plank. One of the passengers must have stashed this away for their family, or you. You can't rule that they left this here for you. Well, that's some meat, I guess. Can I see anything else with the bendy telescope? I cannot. Captain Dan isn't human. There's no worse slur than calling a sailor inhuman. I'll put up with landlubber slander when they're on your turf, but I won't hear another word of it at sea. Well, goodbye. Well, no time paradox today, I guess. Goodbye, longer fellow. Oh, right. I gotta check out that, cache that the insects were guarding. So this one's not gonna move for now, and it's these three I have to worry about. Coffee mug attack, go! That did not do anything. Elemental armor. Well, I do have a lot of items I probably should use. But I have a lot of that I can spare. Ah well, just use a handful of dirty water. Take that. And we can take this out with a weapon attack? No, it's not going to be enough. Battery. Deal sleaze damage, now we do the weapon attack. Victory! The Chasten Bugs abandoned the trunk for new adventures. Now, what was it in here that so intrigued those bugs? Take a peek. You gain 12 meat, a little meat, and well, you look at that. Look at it. The only other thing in the trunk is a magazine about model trains. Those bugs have got their bite marks all over its pages. Funny, those creatures may look different, but they like a model train, just the same as you. That's not what I like. Right, I don't care about model trains. Nothing left near but an old model train magazine falling apart like a misglued couplings on a Mecklenburg T4.